Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is beginning of the month for the month of May Tarot Oracle reading. And Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, we all have a little bit of Virgo in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, what house is Virgo in? That's where this information will show up, most likely for you. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you are watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we're going to begin here with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is talking about feeling like you're in chaos and a lot of volatile emotions involved. And so this is wanting to sail off to smoother waters with God, having some peace of mind, asking for some guidance. And so this conveyor of this little boat has this deep pull, and he has to push hard to get out of this water, this rough water, and then get you moving off to the distant shore. So the swords in tarot represent the element of air, and it's basically your thoughts. So it's the energy is talking about your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. And this is talking about maybe you're overthinking a lot right now, and you see this child and this adult in this boat. Quite often this can represent that your inner child needs healing. You notice they have no baggage. So this is about, floating off to calmer waters with God through meditation and prayer. And this is the underlying energy for the entire reading. And then we have this energy here. This is talking about the Three of Pentacles is recognizing that you have mastered a skill set. And the pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. This is, a lot of this is about coin, because of course money matters in 3D. Having said that, you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want. And I feel like out of all of the cards, this one is expressing this the most. Here you are, you've been working hard, at perfecting whatever skill set it is that you wanted to perfect. This could be, you're at the point right now where you have the ticket, if it was for like, some sort of contracting, electrician, plumbing, that type of energy. You have the degree if you're going to university. You have, the certification to be able to move forward in whatever you do. And you're being recognized because you do really good work. Quite often this also can represent someone who has an ability, a talent that is like not that common. It's a lot of people do it, but you are in an elevated position. You're really being noticed as standing out, and that would be like in the entertainment industry when it comes to actors, actresses, musicians, entertainers, comedians, that type of energy. Also, this can represent an energy of maybe you're valedictorian of your class, you're going to maybe to law school and you're, valedictorian, and there's people here, or maybe you're into sports and you're a professional, or you're really good at whatever sport it is, and, there's universities wanting you to offering scholarships for you to come play for their team. Or maybe you're already at the university level and now it's professional teams scouting you out and wanting you to come play for their team. So this is talking about being very careful, recognizing that you're in an elevated position and that you need to consider your lifestyle as well as just like the money that's being offered, to make a strong choice to live the lifestyle that you want to live. A lot of contracts have clauses and loopholes, and we see this a lot, especially in the entertainment industry, where everybody else is making money but the person who is doing it. Or you sign a contract and let's say, I love rock and roll, and they're like, well, you're going to be a country music star now. It's right here in the contract, and you're like, what, where? It's that kind of energy. And also this can represent secret societies, cults, churches, you know, just different societies that have their own ideas, and when you sign a contract with them, then you're saying that you're participating in what those rituals, those whatever it is that they're involved in. So it's something to be very careful of, and also if they've approached you and you don't agree to going to work for them, sometimes that can be a problem. But you're better off making sure that you're in alignment with everything. Make sure before you sign any contracts that are, you know, regarding, you know, something like that, that you have a lawyer go through it with a fine-tooth comb and make sure there's no loopholes or some sort of energy where you end up having to make choices that you really don't want to have to make. And then we have the Six of Wands here. So the Six of Wands is talking about and this is your internal forces. So, you know, I'm just going to go back to this for a second. If, you know, if this is a lifestyle that you want to live, whatever's in the contract, then that's, you know, up to you. It's more like making sure that what is in the contract is how you want to live. And this is your internal forces. Everybody feels differently about what they want to do and be. Just make sure that it's in alignment with your goals. And then this is talking about being a leader, being a winner. The Six of Wands is saying that you've been through some sort of battle or some sort of competition and you won. So this is really good. This is about leadership. And a big part of the reason why you've been successful is because you have learned to rein in your emotions and discipline your mind so that you aren't making like choices that are impulsive and not in your benefit, and keeping your emotions in check so that you don't lose your temper and you stay even. It's showing a lot of leadership qualities because of it. And even like, so this could represent maybe you won a competition, you won a position, you know, you're the one that, you're the quarterback of the team, that type of energy. And so you're a leader, and even the people that maybe were up in the competition with you have to admit, even if they're a little bit disgruntled because they really, really wanted it too, they have to admit, wow, you really showed leadership qualities and you deserve to be the winner here. Victory, that's what this card is about. And so that's how you're feeling right now. So perhaps you've been in a situation where you know, you had several options and you chose one, and now you feel like this was the perfect choice for you. We have this energy here of the Magician. So this is talking about it being an energetic upgrade. This energy is as above, so below. We have the infinity symbol here, and this infinity symbol energy is like to the power of infinity and beyond. So this is saying that you can bring your thoughts and manifest them down to the earth and turn them into matter to create a beautiful garden for yourself. This is, you have all the tools you need. You just need to learn how to use them and know which tool to use for which situation. Also, you may have noticed that if you leave tools lying around in your yard, they don't get up and do the work themselves. So you have to put the energy and the effort in. And so this is talking about your abundance. So you are really in a really good position here, Virgo, to move forward. And this is talking about the end of a cycle. So the World card represents that you've made a significant achievement and you've come to the end of the cycle in that achievement. What it's saying is, I keep getting this energy, like maybe, you know, it's certification, getting the papers, getting the job, you know, whatever, having the position, that type of energy. And now you're able to move forward and actually be doing that which you've been wanting to do, if that makes sense. So in the minor arcana, or sorry, the major arcana, the Fool begins his journey at the 0 point. And when card 21 shows up, when that shows up after the Fool makes his journey, it means that that cycle is now over. You've accomplished everything that you can in that, in this cycle, and it's time to start a new one. And as soon as we're starting a new one, so now this is about your communication and how you communicate, or how you learned to communicate when you were younger. So you might come from a family that's rather worldly, maybe well educated, and perhaps you speak more than one language, that type of energy. You maybe have, travel a lot with your family. Perhaps even you're in a military background and you travel, you change locations often. So it could be a lot of things, but it's basically saying that your communication style would be very open to different cultures in the world, etc., and probably come from educated parents. And then we have emotional foundation here. And so this is awesome because you're being given a gift of this reward of this big pentacle here from the universe. And this is talking about you've stayed on your destined path on your journey. You haven't taken the shortcuts. You've done everything you can to be the best version that you can be of yourself. And you haven't given in into cutting corners and cheating and that kind of energy. You've stayed in your honor, basically have done your the best to be the best version of yourself. And so now the reward is coming in. And so this is the universe and God collaborating to bring in a big opportunity for you to have a really, really good lifestyle. And we have this energy now, some more information coming in here. So this information coming in, the knights, they would travel throughout the kingdom far and wide. And in the old days, the only way that they could have long distance communication would be like this, like by horse. So it would be in person and, and delivered usually by horse. These days, we have so many ways of communication. So the communication or information coming in could be coming in many ways. Part of it could be you could get a phone call, a text message, maybe something comes in the mail through documents. Perhaps you have an email, you're on social media, someone messages you. You attend an event, post it on social media, and you run into the perfect person with the information that you need. And also, it's a really good idea to pay attention. What's happening at the top of the pyramid? What are the world leaders concerning themselves with? What are the trends happening that you see? If you stay on top of that, you can kind of get a little bit of idea, because there definitely is a trickle-down effect from the information from above. And if you just, it can be really challenging these days to watch the news. It can be painful, but it's really in your benefit if you just take a few minutes to do so. And you can get the information from so many different sources, so choose the one that you feel works best for you. There's a lot of AI out there, so you have to double check everything these days. Check several sources if it's something that comes up that's important to you. Like in matters of business, you can really learn a lot about the trends. I love to, I get my news a lot from the podcasters, my favorite podcasters on YouTube, because different ones have different, areas that they talk about. And I'll go on a podcast that is something I've never done or anything, just to see, oh, that's what it's about. So it's a good way of gaining information. And sometimes that'll spark an idea for me of how to, do something that I want to do. It sparks my creativity. And so this energy is talking about this particular night it feels like sometimes a fool rushing in. I mean, his element is the sword here. And so he's delivering information, but we can only see half his sword. And so does he only have half the information, or is his information accurate? We can't see the point of his sword. Can he? Does he know the point of what it is that's coming in here? There's a big red flag on the back of his helmet here. His horse is totally stressed out, and he's forcing it to run as fast as he can against the wind through barren land. And even the clouds look like, stressed out. If you've ever seen stressed out clouds, this is what they look like. So this is like someone that's anxious, and this cannot quite often represent an energy of running away from someone or something, or running in a hurry to run towards something, this isn't the usually when this kind of communication comes in, it also can represent an energy of, you know, someone hiring a private investigator to look into things, hidden cameras, that type of energy placed in people's homes so that, you know, well, for God knows what reasons, and there's many bad reasons why that would happen, and that type of energy. So sometimes it can represent an investigation, that type of energy. So here we have the Wheel of Fortune, and this is an awesome card to see. This card here is in your creativity, romance, and children. So there could be something like, there could be some news, something about something that your partner did in business, or your spouse, or maybe something that happened with your children. It's that type of energy, or they're excited about something and, you know, rushing into doing something, and then you're probably going to have to deal with it later, that type of energy. So this is talking about the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is like turning in your favor. So this is really good. The internal forces are, you know, coming from inside of you, and you can tell what, you know, like that they're internal forces, because the question you're asking is generally like, what if they do this? And that's that kind of energy here. What if so-and-so does this, and then I have to deal and clean up the mess? What if that happens, and then I'm, you know, going to have to do this? The woulda, shoulda, couldas of life, and like those can keep you up at night, like in a thinking loop, overthinking and overthinking, like this energy here. And a lot of times it's just worry, and this, you know, worry never helped anything. So the Wheel of Fortune is saying this energy is shifting. I feel like you ended this cycle here, full of promise to moving forward in the field that you want. You have this wonderful reward coming in because you've now completed that part. And maybe there's something going on that is kind of trying to upset that, or there's just something that's like cutting into your happiness about it. But here we have this energy here that the wheel is turning in your favor, and this is in your daily routine, your habits, your health, so your happiness in that way. And the Wheel of Fortune is actually 3 wheels turning at once: the past, the present, and the future, and they're all coming into synchronicity and moving to bring in this reward being promised here now that you've put the work in. And you know, someone coming towards you at this information, this could be competition that didn't want to see you elevate to this position, that type of energy. Could be, they could be running from this energy, or bringing, you know, this is basically what I'm seeing here, because they're running, he's running from something. And this energy here, the wheel is turning in your favor, and on one of these 3 wheels, there's the Hebrew letters of the name of God, and this is tetragrammaton. And the tetragrammaton is actually a sacred geometric symbol representing perfect order, unity, divinity. It's God's plan. So this is talking about God, because you've stayed on your path, and this is representing following your North Star, which is your North Node energy, that you are in a really good position to move forward, and you're being rewarded for doing that. And now we're going to look at the external forces. Yeah, this is talking about, there's some sort of energy here that, and I feel like this could be something that happened in the past, a dark night of the soul. Because here we see you being victorious, and maybe this is what this energy is kind of like, okay, bringing some sort of this old energy back in, and some sort of truth coming out about this. Right now, on the 25th of April, we had Uranus moved, the planet Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini, and Uranus hasn't been in Gemini since 1941 to 1949, and you know that what kind of energy that was like when World War II was happening. And so it was very disruptive to the world. A lot of new energies coming in, a lot of fear, a lot of, you know, like a lot going on. And we have very similar energy to that right now, with like uncertainty in the markets, etc. People, there's always something new happening. We've had all those files come out. There's just like a lot of people feel like the rug's been pulled out from underneath them. But the main thing, like I do other astrological readings here besides these ones. Like I have for the beginning, the middle, and the end of the month, and then the full moon, new moon. So you can take a look at those if you want more information about, because we had so much information coming in astrologically for in the last couple months. Normally, sometimes it, whatever, right? But this is pretty significant. And the energy, the one thing that you can take away from the energy of Uranus and Gemini is the truth wants to come out. And you have to understand, we're going to be in this energy until 2033, like another 7 to 8 years. So don't be surprised if every single day, because there's a lot of untruth out there, but every single day there's going to be at the top of the pyramid, something's going to show up where somebody, I just was watching just a podcast, and it was about a 22-year-old finding like millions of dollars worth of fraud online, just some 22-year-old, and now like, the FBI was there and all of this, like just some young person on the internet. And it's that's the type of energy we're in. So if you're all up for the truth coming out, good for you. It's nothing, I'm like, hey, yeah, let's have some more truth. Let's see if we can clean up the energy, so that if you're doing the best that you can and you're staying on the right side of the law, then you don't have anything to worry about. And this energy is talking about after a dark night of the soul, the hermit goes up to the top of the mountain and he fills his lantern with the light of the North Star, and then he comes back down when his rod is golden and he puts that energy into action. So this is talking about the hermit having come back down from the mountain now and moving forward. I feel that this happened right before we started this reading, because you came out of this victorious after doing that, because there's no cards here saying that you're having a dark night of the soul. You might have made some choices that you didn't like or whatever, but what that energy I feel like was before this reading started. And so now we're going into the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is someone who's very has mastered their skill set. For sure, it's this energy here, and it's talking about like this is talking about someone who would be in a profession where they use their mental intelligence and their ability, maybe their ability to express themselves, like a speaker of some sort. So quite often this energy can represent politicians, and this is a king. It could be a king. Right now we have the king and the president together in the U.S., the King of England and the U.S. president together. It could be like a gathering like that, and we've, there's been a lot of energy around that lately, and it's been like this can represent like people who are at the top, like the Senate, the congressmen, the all sorts of politician energy, people who make the rules, the laws, that type of energy. Also, this can represent the legal field, judges and lawyers. If this is a lawyer energy, this would be someone who is a partner in a well-established firm, someone that's higher up. This would be the top, the head prosecutor. This could represent the FBI, the CIA, the Secret Service, all of that type of energy. This can be someone who's doing research, and maybe they win the Nobel Peace Prize for finding a cure for some disease. Or it could be like patents, for some sort of inventions. There could be someone who's a best-selling author on the New York Times best-selling list. That type of energy, someone that's not using, like, physically working hard, but using their mental intelligence and that for what they do. And so this energy, the King of Swords, is that, someone who's well-educated and is at the top of their game in whatever field they're in. And this is sitting actually in your partner's partnerships, commitments, and spousal energy. So that's kind of interesting. We don't have any cups of love energy coming in, but we have the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor. So this could represent someone that is coming into your life that can really benefit you with their position, and maybe someone that you want to work with. We'll see what else is around that. Okay, and then this is really okay, because we still don't, this is the first cups that we have. So sometimes this energy can be talking about walking away from someone that you love in a romantic relationship, or it can be talking about walking away from something that you love to do or love to be. And maybe there is some sort of energy, like, I feel like it's more like geared like that. There's not like a lot of energy here of like romance so much. It feels more like it's business, that kind of energy. And we also have the eclipses here. And so the eclipse season, we just had one eclipse on the February 17th and another one on March 3rd. And those eclipses, I describe them kind of like potpourri, bubbling away on the back burner, just simmering away. And you can smell it, and it's in the background, though. It's not it's not in the forefront of your energy. But, eclipse energy is like that, like 6 months after the eclipse season, which was like the end of February, beginning of March. That energy, all of a sudden, 6 months later, when you look back, you go, wow, look at all the changes that happened. And you're so busy making the changes and being in it that you don't notice it. And when you look back, it can be like a lot happened. And so I feel like this is more an energy of you. Maybe that was the dark night of the soul. Maybe external forces caused you to have to walk away from something that you love to do. It could be someone also. This sometimes can represent a divorce lawyer, but we don't really have any other energy. This could be like maybe something to do with this energy here, where you walked away from that contract and then you couldn't get it, but you didn't want to do what the contract the contract didn't suit your lifestyle or whatever. And so now you just had to leave that, and you haven't found something to replace it yet, that type of energy. And this is in transition, though. And remember, the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. So maybe this will turn out to be a real blessing, because whatever you walked away from, you wouldn't have wanted to stay in it. Let's see here. The full moon that's coming up, like, what is it, to the 29th, like 2 days from now. The full moon is in Scorpio, and that's about transition. And so that full moon is really kind of highlighting that energy, and we're definitely feeling it already. And it's quite an emotional full moon, and it can be definitely where you want to really let your partners know, like if it's in business or if it's in your relationships, this is what I need in this relationship. And Scorpio is not afraid to blow things up and put them back together. And the Taurus energy is opposing to this. And Taurus energy, the sun is shining light on this energy, and Taurus is saying, don't mess with my shift. Taurus says, that's my security blanket. Don't you be messing with my security blanket. And so there can be a bit of conflict. One's wanting transition, and let's see if we can make this better, and the others just leave it alone. I like it this way. And now we have the King of Pentacles energy coming in. So the King of Pentacles energy, it's kind of interesting. I'm getting this energy, like, because the King of Pentacles is someone who's really well respected in business, and you already have proven yourself to be a leader. And this is an energetic upgrade. It's all saying that that's what it's geared towards. So maybe walking away from whatever this was in the past that was painful for you to walk away from now opens you up to this kind of opportunity. This sometimes can represent an entrepreneur that's doing very well. And maybe your business goes viral or something, like that kind of energy. And maybe someone has noticed you in a different way, like not in the way that you expected, which I'm getting kind of goosebumps from it. Like, it's going to be something really cool. This energy is talking like financial advisors, you know, people in the banking industry, people that deal with money, that kind of energy. So maybe you have a financial backer that's interested in your business and your idea, but they don't have the same, they're a free agent basically like you, and they're interested in backing you, and it's going to give you, and they want you to have the freedom to use your mind because they recognize that's why it's such a good, unique idea. That's the kind of energy I'm getting, like maybe some sort of partnership comes in for you, and it's financial backing basically, and it's kind of like, we want you to do what you do. Kind of like, I would hire that 22-year-old that managed to like hire that person to do all the audits that everybody else in the government failed to see. It's pretty funny actually. So it's kind of like that kind of energy. So that's the kind of energy I'm picking up. It's kind of like, you know, the energy is talking about, you know, it can be like an entrepreneur that something goes viral like that, like just out of the blue. I'm getting that kind of feeling. And you know, this robe on the king, he has grapes all over it, and grapes in tarot represent like luxury and doing something that is hard to do, but he is able to do it, so people look up to him. And I feel like it's that kind of energy, just like something out of the blue like that. Oh my Lord. And it's just kind of like some kid on the internet does it in about 6 hours, what like the entire Senate and Congress couldn't do for like 10 years. Like it's that type of energy. And so that, I mean, that could be a viral moment in your business, or maybe you have a coup or something, you know, you do for your company and you're elevated to a really high position. This is talking about your higher learning. And it's also talking that it's very lucrative. And so then this energy is talking about the 10 of Cups. And so 10 of Cups is kind of like everything that you've wished for, that you love. So it could be that possibly this partner is someone that can really benefit your business, as well as being a new partner in your life, that type of energy. And they might also be willing to back your idea and have their ideas that they also want to add to it. Maybe the two of you are, I'm getting an energy almost of like two very different ideas coming together, or two different ways of dealing with energy coming together, and they're opposite, but they complement each other greatly. And I feel like it can bring in this, like, look, like this is a lot of pentacles, and then this is a lot of love. So maybe this energy is saying that this energy here could be both, and it's someone that can back you financially. And then you live happily ever after in a perfectly imperfect world, as perfect as it can get in today's world. And then this energy is talking, yes, because you used your intuition. So not signing that contract or whatever could have felt like, a lot of people might have been saying to you, you nuts, that's such a good opportunity. How can you let that go? But you knew that you just didn't want to live under the conditions of the contract. And it could even be like maybe you would have had to move to a climate that was really cold, and you don't want to be cold. You want to be in a warm climate where, you know, you'd rather make less money and have the lifestyle of that, you know, that type of lifestyle. So this is talking about a lot of information coming in. And the High Priestess, she sorts through the information because she uses her intuition. So she's sitting between two extremes, and in between those two extremes are all this information pouring in. And a lot of people will say, like, it just feels like time has sped up these days, like everything's moving so fast all the time. And it has actually, because the more information we have, and we have so much more information, and now AI has been added to that as well. So we get to sort through AI information as well. It's kind of confusing, you know, like, because AI is not always accurate. Like, so you have to double check. It could be like, yeah, AI is really smart about some things, and then other things, they're totally off. And so even knowing that, just knowing that that's that's a possibility, you have to double check everything. So it's almost like just having to check one more source of information. But it is changing the dynamic. And so this is talking about the high priestess sits amongst all this information, and she uses her intuition to sort through, okay, which is the strongest information here, which of these options am I going to go with, and then use that to logically move forward. So it's a really good energy to be in, to have that open mind and be able to be in that. And if that means also possibly having a partner that comes in that kind of is opposite from you in the way they think, in the way, how they do things, that it could be really beneficial, rather than someone who is in your field already doing things the same way you're doing them, if that makes sense. And then we have the Three of Cups. It's a celebration. This isn't my favorite card, but I'm going to give it a chance here. This energy is talking about, sometimes it can represent energy where there's this dark night of the soul. We don't really know what it is necessarily, but there's some sort of information about it. And I mean, it might come out when I clarify, but this is talking about these people are celebrating something, but they're not celebrating each other because they're not looking at each other. They're looking at the cup. So this is more like celebrating an event or something that happened. Something that, and quite often this can talk about gossip and slander, that kind of energy. This also, the reason I don't like this card so much for celebration is that in a lot of cultures, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, there's a lot of, in Europe in particular, if you toast someone, you don't look them in the eye, they have a superstition that it causes 7 years bad luck in your love life and in theirs. They'll be like, look me in the eye. So it would kind of defeat the purpose. And if this is a romantic relationship, there shouldn't be 3 people. There should only be 2. So it's just kind of an energy. I'm not quite certain of it, but we're going to take this as a celebration of an event happening, or of this happening, not necessarily friends that are celebrating with you, but possibly people that benefit from whatever the 2 of you coming together, that type of energy. So yeah, this is really good, Virgo. It's talking about some really good possibilities coming in here. And this energy is suggesting, of course, like the underlying energy for the entire reading is needing to heal something. And I do feel like you have been through a dark night of the soul, and I feel like this is coming out of that victorious, and the wheel is now moving forward in the way that is best for you. Really good to see. Congratulations on that. I'm going to clarify for those of you who want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you so much for your time and energy. I really appreciate it. Give it a like and comment if you will. That would give me, that helps my channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. And also consider subscribing. If you resonate, you're more than welcome. I have this energy coming in is that I'm using my oracle to clarify. And this is something I started in 2007. It's called Tales from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. I started this in 2007. In 2020, I completed 64th painting, and the final one. Wow, there's a lot of major arcana coming in here. The maestros of my deck, like look at them all. Lots and lots. Wow, this is pretty wild. Okay, like there's a lot of, there's no, this is all the maestros giving good advice here. So the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in the gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. This is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. Now, this is talking... Stella, you knocked the camera, honey. Sorry about that. Yeah, were you excited? See, all the maestros are. Yeah, is that what you were excited about? So the death is talking about transition, of course. And so this is talking about, yes, after you've done this inner work, and maybe there was something from your childhood or something that was holding you back, you know, and maybe you weren't really aware of it, and now you are, and you've been working on it. That transition has really been beneficial for you. And then we have the shooting star. So yeah, this is like, even if sometimes like you know, you're in this position and it's exciting because people want to collaborate with you, you have to make sure you check it out. And it could feel like it's everything you wish for, but you have to have like a real strong attitude here about, okay, I want to go for, you know, what I want. Like, I don't want to, don't lower your standards, basically. Go, you know, raise the bar, go for the best deal that you can be. And it's worth your while for sure to have like an expert lawyer check that out. And maybe that's what a lawyer did, and then you accepted this offer. Like, it could be something like that as well. And had to walk away from something else. So this is the High Priestess energy, and the High Priestess energy is talking about that intuition that we just were talking about. And I feel like using your intuition in that way and your logic has allowed you to be victorious. And it's been, you're able to rein in your emotions so that you can really sort through the information and not be so overwhelmed with it by emotion and by, you know, getting triggered and then overthinking things. The Judgment is God's judgment coming in. So this is saying that you've been on your destined path. You've done what you can do to get there. This is God's judgment coming in. This is a beautiful pink and green dragon. She's flying through the air right side up, and she's also flying upside down in another version. And that's for the personal heart chakra. This is talking about the cosmic heart and God's judgment. When you get down to it, God's the only one that can actually judge other people properly, because God's the only one that knows what's in people's hearts and the reasons why they do what they do. And so this is talking about God is, you know, and the universe are collaborating for you to be able to use your skill set now that you've managed, like you've closed that cycle. And, you know, we have the Hermit here, and then we have the Hermit here again on this new cycle energy coming in when the Wheel of Fortune is turning. So I feel that you've been doing a lot of meditation and prayer and really going inward to really feel like, what is it that I really want? There could have been like when this, and like with the Hermit being on here as well, it could represent that there was maybe you felt sad because you had to let something go here. But you, after, you know, meditating in prayer and conferring with God, you decided, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this cycle and start a new one. That type of energy. Maybe you were thinking you were going to go in one direction, and now you're going in another. So this takes a lot of courage to look at your shadow side and, you know, do that inner work. The Strength card quite often is talking about your integrity to be able to do so. And when you stay in that integrity, that's when you get rewarded by the universe. It shows that you you can be responsible and handle more energy coming towards you. This energy here is foolish energy. So this energy, I feel, is something about what happened with the Hermit, the dark night of the soul. And I feel like you came out of it victorious, but this energy is trying to re-enter almost to try and see if they can take this from you somehow, or stop you from, it's more like stop you from receiving it with some sort of information, or I don't know. It feels like something stupid, really, to be honest. Like, it's almost like it's almost like this energy caused you a dark night of the soul back then, and now they're trying to do it again. And it's like they're not going to give up until until they have what is yours, or some sort of energy like that. It's really foolish. Expectations always create limitations. And at this point, like with all this major arcana here, good luck. Like, it's not going to happen. The Wheel of Fortune is turning, and there is a tower here. And I feel the tower is for this energy here. I feel that your energy moving forward is a tower for them, for it not. That, if that makes sense. So this is talking about the external forces, and the external forces we have here, lack of awareness. So, you know, meditation and prayer, it opens your mind up to the different possibilities here. And so maybe you weren't aware of something and now you are, and that's the type of energy you're in. And we have trauma queen. So there could be some sort of energy around that. The last place where you want trauma is in your relationships, like your significant others, like the relationships of where you're in a relationship with your spouse, with your business partner, that type of energy. Hold the drama. A lot of people in romantic relationships can sometimes confuse anxiety with excitement. And anxiety doesn't, and I feel like it's some sort of energy around that. So there's something going on there. And then we have the battle star energy. So this is talking about having the courage to be able to move forward and walk away from what you have to walk away from. To, like, this could be people that maybe you were in some sort of energy with, and it's really hard to walk away from them. They don't want you walking away from it. They're making it really hard, but you've done it. And now the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you, and they want to drag you back into the mess. And you're like, no, I'm not doing it. I've already been in that mess once. I already had like a dark night of the soul here. I have put a lot of work in to be able to move forward, to change how I do things. And I am moving forward now in this way. I've given up a lot to be here. And I'm not, and look at this. This is then, you're on a foolhardy journey. So, you know, you may have gotten mixed up with something that you didn't know what you, because secret society energy they don't advertise their secret society, if you know what I mean. So this is like, now you're on a journey that you can anticipate because you left this old energy. So it's talking about making a dedicated effort to change and move forward in this way, in a strong way. And justice. So the universe is recognizing that you've put this energy in to move forward. This is in your career and reputation. And then we have, you know, the energy of the Sagittarius energy here. And so this is talking about doors opening, adventure opening up. The Sagittarius energy also, you know, I just want to point out, when horoscope signs come up in my readings, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the energy that the sign has. And we all, if you know, if you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice that you have most of the signs in your chart somewhere. So, you know, we can learn from each other's energy, and that's my goal in my readings. I mean, you could say, no, it was a Sagittarius, call it. And that would be, if in this reading you recognize individuals, that's up to you to use your intuition. I just want you to understand that that's not my intention. Like, I am just wanting to learn from this. And the Sagittarius energy is actually interesting because the constellation of Sagittarius has a black hole in it. And a lot of people consider that to be the cosmic heart of the Milky Way. So, you know, that's like, I'm tuning into that energy. So that's like, you know, God's judgment, the judgment of the universe. And then we have abusive power here. So definitely there was some sort of energy here. I'm picking up here this energy. Maybe it was beneficial for you, or it seemed to be at the time. And then as you got further into it, you realized that maybe the people that you thought were on the up and up weren't. It could be that kind of energy. Or you realize, like, you just realized that there was things happening that you didn't want to be involved in, that type of energy. So you know, you would know, if this is your reading, you would understand what that's about. But overall, I would say, you know, there has been some challenging energy here for sure, but you've done a lot to overcome it. And I feel like this new energy coming in. Like one thing that is happening on May 6th is Pluto is going retrograde into the sign of Aquarius. So just be aware that that can cause, you know, with the full moon energy coming up here, and then all of this new energy coming in from Uranus being in Gemini, with Pluto going retrograde into Aquarius, and it's going to be there till mid-October after May 6th. That energy can kind of cause some more confusion, and it can kind of magnify problems, so that you can kind of get into this worry zone again after having come out of it. So just be aware of that. It's a great time to do research right now. With that Pluto energy, like really take a look at what's really going on. Don't just assume that the energy coming in is the same old energy that you've had to deal with in the past. This could be like something that could be beneficial for you, and it is about power. The energy of Pluto it's power driven. So just be aware of that. That's other than that, there's not a lot of new astrological influences that, you know, are particularly bothersome. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a like and comment if you have, and consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate. I'll be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now, Virgo. Gotta wake you up, little cutie. You were purring away. Yes, you were.